The transformation in me in a fairly short period of time after meeting Dave, I'm proud of, and I'm also really appreciative of.
So, Dylan, tell us, who are you, a little bit about you, and what do you do?
I've had a amazing career that I'm incredibly grateful for in the hospitality industry, and that started at a fairly young age. That transitioned into, an overseas posting for the Marriott Group from my early 20s through to 40. I had an incredible lifestyle, Dave, in terms of working in some luxury properties, hotels, and I was based in Thailand, Maldives, Indonesia, and you live in a hotel. Money's a lot better than what it would be in Australia, tax free. You end up with your food done, your laundry done, your school fees done, a car and a driver, and a pretty good lifestyle.
Why did you reach out to me? What you're looking for and what resonated when you came across me?
Started to really think about retirement seriously, and how much did I want to have, and what I would need to do to get to that number. And I quickly realised that time wasn't on my side, or isn't on my side, and that was the main motivation to reach out to you. And you popped up at the right time, and it's been just an incredible 2 to 3 months working with you so far, Dave, with some pretty solid results.
In the very early stages, sort of unpacking, I suppose, your life vision, how was that process for you? And then how we sort of pulled it apart in our first call?
My beautiful wife is from Thailand, and my son was born there. So I've had 14 years of my life there. So that really feels like a bit of a second home. So that was one of the things that was really important for us as a family, to be able to have that option to be living in two countries. The process of unpacking that, plus some personal things for myself that I've wanted and hadn't quite achieved yet. So on top of that, to be really looking at setting up my son for success as well, I think that was really important for me, so that he could live a life of choice and be really chasing his dreams without sort of having to worry too much about a 9 to 5, I guess.
Now, you made two pretty significant decisions. You took some massive action at a personal financial level. What did you tackle and pay off in a very short amount of time?
I'd applied for a home loan. I've got a well-paying job, fairly minimal overheads and other things, and the bank still knocked me back. So that was a bit of a realization. And they mentioned, because there were two debts that they weren't comfortable with, and one was a car. Some car financing, and the other was a business loan of a business that I'd taken on when I came back to Australia, I guess. Then I started looking into it in a bit more detail, and really looked at what those two debts were covering. And in total, both those debts were around $75,000. But the repayments on both those debts, it would have been close to about $140,000 that I would have been paying back over the period of the loan. So in terms of that was a very clear motivation, and indicated that my first priority needed to be to knock that debt on the head.
And when you paid that off, what did you experience?
There was certainly a weight off my shoulders, putting it that way, that I didn't really feel it was there. But once it had gone, it was like fresh air, clean air, a clear run at things. And I'd realised that how much those two things had been holding me back. But more than that, it was really just consolidating where I want to go and what I'm doing, and taking massive action towards that, and doing that in a relatively short period of time has really propelled my momentum, I would say.
What is also possible for you potentially with a career out of all of this?
Call it guestcraft. We're getting that off the ground now. Well, it actually is off the ground already, in a much shorter time than I would have anticipated. But that was really through your encouragement and a bit of structure around how to put this together. So without knowing the nth degree of having things completely ready, but taking the steps forward to get this business off the ground, and has also been incredibly motivating.
That entrepreneurial spark got reignited, and you, in many ways, it was always there within you. You just needed someone to hold the mirror back and give you a bit of a nudge and encouragement, and give you a framework.
Encourage anyone to do the same, because it's a big world out there, and there's 100% you will have some expertise that people want to know.
What would you say to anyone else that's considering maybe working with me as a wealth and or business coach?
The transformation in me in a fairly short period of time after meeting Dave, I'm proud of, and I'm also really appreciative of. So what I like about Dave for you is also the value that you give as well, and being able to lean on you with some feedback, some direction, and having that conversation quite fluid and quite tailored to me. That's what I feel. It's not a sort of a program that, it's a one size fits all and that's what you get. It's been, I feel anyway, the journey for me has been very tailored to me by you. So I appreciate that.
What are you most grateful for having met me and started this journey of wealth coaching and business discovery, I guess?
Incredibly grateful for, meeting someone that in a very quick period of time has been able to understand me and where I'm at, and to be able to provide some genuine guidance. Probably the other thing I'm really grateful for is that belief. You've obviously seen that belief in me, and at some point I think I just needed someone to stoke that fire a little bit and get it going, and it's well and truly alight now.